Hey, Blockheads. This is DJ AK The Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, crying, hug, friendship solid as gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows and KOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom! And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that my phone's off. Jeez. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Please, Brooke.
That's all I need is the AIM instant messenger sound to come up.
That's what I have too.
All right. We want an intro?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
This is Jackie.
This is Kristine.
And this is my so-called whatever.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Do we have an episode for you?
We are super, super excited.
Yes. We have a complete 80s, 90s episode for you that actually was your idea, right, Jackie and Kristine?
Probably. I said this would probably be a good episode because the subject matter is very 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. So, Brooke, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Janet Jackson. And excuse me, specifically, we watched
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Correct.
I've been wanting to
we
say
watched the just trying to find a place to slip that in.
Yes.
The Janet Jackson like docu-series that was put out by Lifetime and A&E. Super, super interesting. And then, some other stories on the side.
Yeah, not the one on Hulu that I originally thought it was, because she doesn't like that one that I found, correct? Like, she was not impressed with the New York Times one.
Is that the whole talking about the Super Bowl Nipplegate thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't even know if she commented on it or not. I didn't watch it. I don't think I did.
I feel like I Googled it because I was Googling it, trying to figure out which one to watch. And I read something along the lines of like, she just wasn't impressed. So that's good.
I know this one that we watched, she did like that. Yeah. This is her, like, this is whatever you'd call it, like authorized by her.
Yeah.
She wanted to tell her story and her family's story, so that people really knew. And right. I, like, me being somebody who I've never, like, I probably watched like a Janet Jackson Behind the Music back in like the early 2000s, anybody would, but I learned a lot from it, things that I didn't know. And it gave me a whole new perspective on her and her family that I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
It was unexpected and it was nice.
Okay, we had some little minor difficulties. So hopefully Kristine will keep her on, but she might be in and out. But we want her input. So where to start? Can I just say it's like what Brooke was saying, because let me rewind. I was a big Michael Jackson fan, like really big Michael Jackson fan. And I remember watching this like made for TV movie about his life with his father, which was definitely, I'm sure, not approved. Like it wasn't like an official story.
2300 Jackson Place. It was like a mini series.
Yes,
with,
it was a mini series. Yes.
With Angela Bassett as the mom.
Yes. And
yes.
And he said he liked giraffes. And then like I was obsessed with giraffes. Like seriously.
I remember that.
I've always had giraffes ever since then, because when I found out he liked giraffes, I was like, me too, Michael, I do too. So, and I mean, I've told the story, like he was the very first star poster I ever had. He was on the back of my door, kissed him goodnight, Michael. And that was that. Watching the beginning of this Janet Jackson documentary gave me a whole new perspective, like Brooke said, on their family. And I can't believe that they had all those kids in a 2-bedroom house. That's insane.
That's insane. It's insane. And I mean, just the way it opens with her noticing the murals. Clearly she hasn't been back to Gary, Indiana in a long time. And with her being touched, I was even touched looking at it, you know. But yeah, that house.
Wow.
Small.
So small. And just thinking about like growing up with that many, I mean, you're just like, what a drastic change it would be from them to go to Gary, Indiana to LA.
Right.
And like
in a huge mansion.
Right. Just that's insane. But yeah, that was one of my biggest takeaways was like how close the family actually was and how respectful they are of their father, and that they wouldn't be where they were today if it wasn't for him. And yes, he was stern, and yes, he was strict, but so were a lot of fathers back then.
Yeah. I mean, I think she definitely touches upon, like, say, cultural differences of how you raise kids and people not understanding that. Certainly some of the things he did today would probably get Child Protective Services involved, but that could probably be said for my parents.
Same. My parents as well. Nope, Jackie, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
I think from the people who were on the receiving end, for them to recognize it was by any means necessary for him to get his kids out of that situation and still give him respect and say, there's no way we would have all this if he didn't scrape and scratch and claw at everything around to get us where we are. And, there definitely was, and I didn't realize it, but in the interviews, they're showing how even people are questioning his practices when they're already way famous. Like, so how, what happens when Michael gets in trouble? What happens when so-and-so?
That was very interesting.
So there was clearly a focus on that right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they love their Joe Jackson.
It was really interesting. Just when she said that, Janet said, discipline without love is tyranny.
I wrote that down too. Yes.
And that stuck with me because even though he was, a disciplinarian and, strict in whatever ways he needed to be, like you said, like he fought, clawed, scratched, dug to get his family into a better position for a better life for his children. There was clearly love in that household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the picture that has been painted, I think, in other outlets and publications and whatever, is that wasn't the case. So I thought that was really, really interesting.
Right.
It kind of opened my eyes. I liked it. It made me feel good. I don't know.
Right. I never got the impression that the kids felt like he was working them and then taking their money. Right.
No. Right.
and that's a big difference from other acts that we see.
A lot of other
Yeah.
Oh,
ones.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So, that was interesting. I'm wondering if the house is a museum too. Or
Jackie, you took the words out of my mouth because I was like, there's no way is somebody living here? Like as they're filming? Like is somebody actually, because they showed
right.
the inside of the
so.
house.
They show the inside
And-
of the house. They show, I mean, obviously some of the furniture is different
Mhm.
because there are people who live there in between, but then they showed pictures and stuff. So I'm like, does the family who lives there have pictures of the Jackson?
Maybe.
I totally would be making money. I'd be like, come
Yeah.
tour the house.
You want
Yeah.
to come in? Come on in. $5. Here you go.
Right,
Come see.
right. I thought it was actually pretty clever too that I thought the street was named after them as well.
I did too.
So I'm glad that she cleared that up.
Mhm. That was really neat.
We're the Jacksons that just moved to Jackson Street. Sounds like a good street to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
So,
fits. If the
yeah,
shoe fits.
it definitely
Yeah.
fits. So
Yeah.
before we get into more of this, let's talk about, because you and Kristine are big fans of Janet Jackson. So let's kind of like, where did that start?
I wish I could tell you. I definitely remember having a huge, like she was probably the biggest woman poster on my wall.
Mhm.
And it's probably more so from her Rhythm Nation album than the Control album. But I definitely remember listening to Control and being infatuated with it. But I feel like my earliest memory is her as playing Charlene on Different Strokes.
Mhm.
And really being a big fan of her. But then I think back and I'm like, maybe I did see her as Penny, but didn't realize who she was when she was on Good Times.
Okay. Yeah.
But definitely the music and the dancing is what drove me to Janet Jackson, for sure. Yeah.
I never knew she was on Fame. Never knew.
I remember her on Fame too, but I feel like maybe those are some, I don't know if it was like a Nick at Night, like shows that I watched on, like when they were repeating, when being syndicated.
Yeah.
Than the actual original play. All that's kind of fuzzy to me. But I do remember her playing Cleo. Yeah.
I just as a side note, when I was a kid, I loved Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I as a child, I didn't, and I don't even know, again, like you said, Jackie, it might have been more like in syndication reruns that I was watching it. I don't remember because I was a little kid. And obviously I wouldn't have recognized that she was who she was, but I loved Fame. Just putting that out there.
You never told me that. I never knew that, Brooke.
Oh my gosh, I loved that show.
So you totally knew who I was talking about when I went to LA and that guy that was in Fame, the one I had my picture taken with. Because
but here's the thing.
I don't know.
But here's the thing with Fame and me. I was a really little kid.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have remembered probably anybody. But I just knew, like, when I was a kid, I loved Fame. Just like I knew when I was a kid, I loved the song Maneater.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know who sang it. Like, I didn't know,
Right.
But anyway.
It's also, too, with these shows is that, as they get older and they become more famous, you're like, oh, I know that face. I know them from so-and-so. So you want to say that you are a fan from back then, but it's when they hit a certain point that you were like, I love this person. And you realize you've been a fan of theirs all along.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of like
It
we're
does.
talking about Fame. Nia Peoples was on Fame. And she went on to be like a VJ or something on MTV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it's those little things that you like, I know that face. And then once you figure out the connection, you're like, oh, I was a fan of hers when she was on Fame. So, yeah.
Nia Peoples. Was she Buffalo Stance?
No,
that's
Nina Cherry.
Nina Cherry. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, Nina.
She might have done like more of like the Club MTV maybe
Okay.
stuff. I definitely know that she was like a host on MTV for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was close. Because it's like Nia. So Not
Then,
close, but
then a
not close
chair.
at
You
all.
mean a
At
chair?
all.
Yeah.
Yes. I love
I
that
mean,
song.
kinda.
So we lost Kristine. She's not going to be able to make it back. We are so sorry, Kristine, that you are having internet problems, and we'll have to have you on
Sad.
another time and you can talk about your Janet Jackson fandom. But yeah, that's really cool about like not knowing you're a fan of somebody, like you were saying, like you've just always been a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Control for me was one of the first tapes that I had. So I played the shit out of that tape. I wouldn't say like I was like a fan like I was with like New Kids on the Block or even Michael Jackson. But when Rhythm Nation came out and that earring, you better believe I had one. Like the key, I had
earring.
it. Yes, JCPenney.
Santa brought it to me in my stocking.
Yep.
I don't know that I wore a key earring, honestly. I think I was all about the military garb. Like my mom worked for a fashion company, and it was like almost like it looked like a toy soldier coat. It had like the buttons going straight down.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was a black suede, and it was almost like it cut right to your waist, so it looked kind of like Janet Jackson's jacket without all the chains. I'm pretty sure I could find a million pictures of me rocking that for every.
Oh my
that sounds
gosh.
amazing. That jacket
Probably
sounds
days where I
incredible.
was freezing. I was just like, nope, I look like Janet Jackson in Rhythm Nation.
Yeah, I mean, her fashion, she was very fashion forward and like pushing it, and we followed.
Yeah. And I liked it because, I mean, for that particular album, Rhythm Nation, too, she stayed militant for a little bit, and then she broke out a little bit with I think that's the album that has Escapade. I think that's the album that has Love Will Never Do Without You. Right, where she wore a little boost with Antonio
and the beach on
Antonio
the beach.
Sabato Jr.
Yes.
And was it Jaimin Hansu? Was the other guy?
I'm not sure.
'Cause there were two guys in her video.
There's I remember like Anthony Sabato Jr. Like
yeah, there was a dark skinned guy, and there was Anthony, and I'm pretty sure that was Jaimin Hansu. Okay. Who he's an actor. I'm trying to think of some of the movies he hasn't done stuff lately.
He's a very nice looking man,
very handsome. I mean,
good. She picked some good forms.
But I mean, she too is like incredibly gorgeous.
She is
incredibly gorgeous. Like I always looked at her and she's just stunning. She's just stunning.
Whether she's tomboyish or she's glammed up, it doesn't matter to me.
Short hair, long hair, doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Like,
right.
So she's just one of those people that really, no matter what she does, she's always going to be gorgeous. I mean, now she's
she's got a cute face. She just has a cute face.
She does. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never listened to her first album. I've never listened to it. I still haven't listened to it.
There's actually two.
There's two? Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, two first albums?
Not two first albums. There's two albums before Control.
Okay.
I never knew that.
I get it.
One is called Dream Street, which you hear her singing in the documentary and being like, this isn't my tune. And I see the cover of the other one, but I can't remember. It might have just been Janet Jackson, honestly.
I think because they showed it in the documentary, and I think it was just like self-titled.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Where she's wearing like purple and red, and there's another one where she's like in a pool with like flour in her hair.
Yes.
With her hair pulled back. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, there's maybe some cuts after they play back. I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, no.
Yeah. I've never heard of him.
Yeah. If anything, she became really famous for silently being a background singer in this song called Diamonds. Don't you know diamonds are a girl's best friend? It's not her song. Yes. I thought it was. But it's another artist, I can't remember his name, but he doesn't name her as a singer.
I never knew that.
She's not really Janet Jackson yet, per se.
Interesting.
But when she did her number ones tour, I think she started out with that song and I was like, oh my God, how did I not make this connection?
That's amazing.
Really cool. You. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, those first 2 albums, a lot of people don't know about it. They did not do well, rightfully so. And when you get together with someone like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who had a lot of hits through the time in other groups, they wrote for New Edition. She hit the right crew, and it seemed like they were the perfect mix, and they came out with these great albums thereafter. So
I was really proud of myself because I was like, Jimmy Jam. Kevin's like, how do you know? And I was like, I know these things. I know the time.
Yeah.
Like I know this.
yeah.
I was just patting myself on the back there for a second there. I'm done. My arm's tired. So
and even with that, like I'm not a person who will read the credits and stuff like that. Like, no. So even with a lot of the people that she works with, it's me rewinding and being like, oh my God, these are the guys from X, Y, and Z. So she really got lucky, and she picked them. She handpicked them. She handpicked Paula, as she said in the documentary, to do her choreo. So it was a project. This was her coming out control for sure. And I feel like her albums kind of grow with me as I grow.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe the only song on Control that I maybe didn't quite know about was Funny How Time Flies. There's like moaning and stuff towards the end, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, that went right over my head. I don't remember that.
Right over my head.
I'll think I can listen to it.
Adult, I'm like, ooh. I listened to it as an adult. I'm like, she's doing the business.
Oh my God. I never knew that. Oh my word. How many times I listened to that? I mean, I don't remember that. I'm going to listen to it after we're done because I totally want to hear it.
It's all about perspective and what you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, funny how time flies when you're having fun. Where did all the time go?
Oh my gosh.
That's something else.
That whole thing with her and Paula Abdul, like going back to what you said, that was really, really cool. And I remember like watching something that I think it was like Behind the Music or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Mm-hmm. But in the end with Paula, when they were like talking to her and she was getting emotional, like that they kind of grew up together. And I was just like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because that choreography was fire.
Oh, it was amazing.
I tried to learn it. I tried. Trust me, I tried. Did not work out very well in my favor. No.
Yeah. And I think that also speaks to how multifaceted in terms of talent she is, right? Mm-hmm. She sings, she dances, she acts.
Yeah.
So, talking about her TV series, then I Was in Heaven with Poetic Justice. Like, I just loved that movie so much. So much.
Tupac. Oh.
So, and the chemistry, I was like, please speak on this.
Yes. Oh my God. So I thought maybe I thought there was something going on with them. Like I really did. Like I truly did.
And the thing is, no one knew about Renee at the time, right? So I'm wondering, because they showed Tupac doing an interview with on Arsenio, and being like, yeah, her boyfriend was right there. He's like, so I really kissed her. Like, Tupac.
Tupac.
But I don't think people knew about Renee until it was over.
I never knew. I had no idea.
I had no idea they were. But then again, I wasn't looking at the art. I wasn't looking at what relationships artists were in either.
Me either.
It was advertised.
No.
It was different then.
It was different then, and they weren't really so focused in on it as they were in the late 90s, early 2000s, where you got like In Touch, US whatever, weekly,
Right.
whatever, all those magazines. It was constantly in your face. So,
right. And she's so private too. So I mean, she had a whole child in her first marriage that no one knew about.
Right.
so I'm still like wild about this because like I can remember not back then, not in the early 80s, but like maybe when like Again came out
Mm-hmm.
and them talking about her having the secret love child with DeBarge or right DeBarge.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
James DeBarge.
James
Mhm.
DeBarge. And I'm like, really? Like, and then them talking about, I thought for sure she was gonna, the way they made it seem like in the cut that she was gonna be like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be learning that this is true? No.
Yeah. And you know, I think over time there has been a particular person who's come to the media saying I am actually her daughter.
Mhm.
So that just adds to the, you know, craziness of the story.
Fuels the
Um,
fire.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
And
I'm
her
sure there's still some
nieces that
people
look
who,
like her.
yeah. I'm still there's some people out there who will be like, we know she got a child. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
why deny it?
I mean,
Especially
she
at
wouldn't
this
be
point.
denying it. Look at her with her son. There's no way she would deny it. She would be like,
No,
no, this is my
no.
daughter. Like, absolutely.
Especially with, I think she hints to the fact of how much she struggled to have her son.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Hmm. She
and
did.
and I can clearly remember me waking up to that message of her saying she was postponing the tour and not it not registering. I'm like, wait, what do you mean starting? Are you pregnant? Like, I thought she was pregnant already at the moment, but I
Oh,
guess
she wasn't?
I know, I don't believe so. I think she was
Oh,
just in the zone of it and then it
gotcha.
happened. So and that particular tour, it was 3 breaks. So I think it was like the Unbreakable tour, Unbreakable 2 tour, and then it came back into something else. There was literally 3 breaks. The world something world. I'll have to remember the name of it. I have it on the sweatshirt. But it was literally broken into 3 different tours.
Wow. I
Oh
didn't
my
know that.
gosh.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I do not believe Janet Jackson has a secret child,
No.
particularly with some. And then another question. Still have so many questions of this documentary. I'm like, you were married to him for a year and you had it annulled?
Hmm.
Yeah, that seems strange.
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure annulled means you didn't do anything, and I'm pretty sure you did. So that's just my thought. I'm a bad Catholic though.
But what I've always heard, and do not curse me, fellow Catholics or Catholics like me. What like I'm not really Catholic, but I'm Catholic. But like it was
I
just
supposedly am.
yeah, it's just a way to pay the church to like have a divorce, but not have the divorce on your record. So it's like, you know,
Kind of makes sense to me.
I've heard of many people getting annulled marriages, and I'm just like, really? Like, so
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the way it works, but all right.
They may have mistaught me in my school. I don't know. But either way,
No,
that was
that's
a
how
sad.
what it's supposed to be. 100%. Like
Okay.
they didn't do anything. No,
Oh,
annulled
okay.
is you didn't consummate the marriage.
Right. Okay. All right,
Yes,
that's good.
100%.
And
100%.
I totally would co-sign that. Yes, they probably needed some money and said, "Here we go. We'll
Yeah.
wipe it off the books. If you
Right.
pay us. Pay
Right.
Jesus."
Right. And I always thought it was a Catholic thing. I didn't think it was like because she's not Catholic.
Right. They're Is it 7-day event? No.
It's
No.
Jehovah Witness.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. I do believe it's Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. Or Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't celebrate holidays, birthdays, Christmas.
Right.
They don't celebrate.
Like Janet does, but
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
I don't think she's practicing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's kind of a tough religion
Yeah.
from what I've heard. So
So yeah, that first marriage was pretty sad. Like the story she told about they gave their vows, and then he just left her off at a hotel room.
Yeah.
For hours.
And then later on, she talks about how with Renee, it's the first time she actually got an engagement ring and actually was proposed to. So I'm like, this James DeBarge partnership was just young people being wild and having wild ideas, I think.
Right.
She needed something different, some kind of escape, and she wasn't sure how she was going to do it. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm surprised he got as far as he did with Joe in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I
was really surprised too, because I'm thinking she's really young. I mean, I think she was 17 or 18 when she got married.
Something around
she was
there.
18.
Yeah. And I don't know, she was still under the control of her father because of like the albums and everything. So I was really surprised that he would be like, yeah, okay, go ahead, marry this guy. Like that's
no. Well, they ran off. They
did it without telling anybody.
That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And in 2300 Jackson Street, it's definitely painted that Joe was going to murder him.
Oh God.
And mother or Catherine Jackson, their mom, got in the middle and was just like, you need to calm down right now, at least in that series. So I'm sure Janet skipped over that piece.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. With her mother, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but broke my heart.
Yeah.
But
I would say she definitely is the super love of the portion of the family.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And in Janet's documentary and the miniseries 2300 Jackson Street, she's always depicted as the one who gives super, super love to all the kids.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've never heard of Ruby Jackson, the oldest sister.
Really?
Never.
I think she had like a really brief singing career as did LaToya.
Oh, I've heard of LaToya, but I never knew of her.
And you know what? Song people are probably going to murder me if I'm wrong. But I'm not even going to guess what song it is. She did have a popular song, but we're going to go back and give them that information.
Okay.
So I don't misquote.
Okay.
I don't want my card taken away tonight.
Oh my gosh. So one thing I had to Google because I was wondering, Rhythm Nation 1814. I was like, why 1814? Do you know why?
I can't remember right now, honestly.
It said it was the year the Star Spangled Banner was written, which I didn't like. I was like, okay. I mean, all right.
That's not ringing a bell to me, but
no, yeah.
Like, where's the connection?
Yeah. Now my information could be incredibly wrong, but I did Google it, and in a couple places that's what it said, and I was like, "Are you sure?" But
the Janet fans will let us know.
Yes, they will. Yes.
I mean, I could go to one of my Janet Facebook groups and ask that, but they probably would ban me for a couple of hours, being like, "How dare you not know?"
I'm looking up what song did Ruby Jackson make. Okay.
Reby.
Sorry.
Reby.
Mm-hmm. Yours Faithfully.
And that's her number one song.
It doesn't say. She was on the Free Willy soundtrack.
She was on Free Willy?
Yeah.
She was?
She sang a song called Forever Young.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she sang a song called Centipede.
It is her. Okay. I'm like, that's the famous song.
Okay.
I was like, I started to say she's very famous for Centipede, but I started to doubt myself and say maybe it was Stephanie Mills. So it's not.
It is her. It is her.
Okay.
It is her. I've never heard that song before. Or maybe I have and I just don't realize I have.
Especially if you see this, if you hear the song with the video, you might be like, "Oh, I do know this,"
Okay.
or not,
Okay.
or not. But that's what I know her for.
And it's Rebby Jackson. What did I keep
Rebe.
calling her? Rebe. I kept calling her Rebby, and it's Rebe.
Rebe.
My
Rebe.
gosh, my pronunciation, seriously.
It's not pronunciations; it's how you're reading it.
Yeah. I never read it correctly, ever. My like biggest moment of fandom with Janet Jackson was in the like early 90s when she came out with Again and the Rolling Stone cover. And because anytime I
show
hear
it?
this song,
Can I show it?
yes, I love it.
This was like my prized possession in college. It was like a special like DVD. I'm like, can't do it with the light. DVD set.
Oh wow.
And it had like special like special pictures in it.
Oh, I love that
like,
picture of her.
All this. Like, so like I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring this. This is yes.
I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Hold on, let me take a picture of you with it. Hold on. Let me take a picture of you with it. Hold on. One.
Where was it? There we go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Got it.
All right.
Love it.
That like, I don't know what it was, but I was just like, oh my God, she is the coolest. She is the coolest. Like,
yeah.
That song again is probably my favorite Janet song.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I heard it. I remember.
Oh, tell us.
The very first time I heard that song was in a store in Old Orchard Beach. And it was like what, 93. So it was like a clothing store, but Old Orchard Beach is a beach town in Maine. It's your typical beach town stores. So it was like junky, but it was 93. They had a lot of flannels, but it was summer. So they had flannel shirts that didn't have sleeves. And I remember hearing that song while I was shopping, and I'm sure with my mom or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this song's amazing. Like, what is this? This is incredible. And I bought a shirt. It was a yellow plaid flannel sleeveless, and I loved it. And I immediately had to like listen to the radio, record the song off the radio. I listened to it nonstop. And to this day, it still makes me cry. Not much makes me cry, but that song is incredible. I love it.
It's a beautiful song. And with this particular like box set, it was like a special box set. I want to say I probably paid $50 for it.
Oh, wow.
And that's a lot. That's a lot.
That was a lot back then.
That was,
but the second disc was her singing again in French. And I don't have my glasses. It might have been in Spanish. And that was like the special perk. You got to hear her singing the song in another language.
That's really cool.
This is pretty. And fun fact, because I had to look it up. I was trying to look up what TV show she was in, and I saw that she had an Oscar nomination, and I'm like, what was that for? Again.
It was in Poetic Justice, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that's such a good movie. I got to watch that again.
I know. I was just saying that. I'm like, I got to watch it again.
I flew somewhere and did not have headphones on a plane recently. So I was watching it on silent. And my friend who was with me was like, do you like know all the lines? And I'm like, pretty much. And it's funnier watching it on silent. Like,
yeah. I love it. Oh my God. I love it.
Just her fighting with Tupac as they're driving cross country in the van, and she like hops out and she's like limping, and he's like, get back in the car. And she's like, no. or him trying to hit on her and they pull a prank on him. Yeah, that's a good movie. And Regina King.
Oh my gosh.
Regina King, yes.
And I think what was her boyfriend's name who kept combing his hair? Was it Hollywood or Reggie? Reggie? Maybe it was Reggie.
I don't remember, but he was. Yeah.
Do you know how long it's been since I've watched that movie? I think the last time I watched it, I had it on VHS. That's the last time I watched that movie. So I need to watch it again soon. So, but I did buy it on VHS.
And it's actually one of my favorite costumes to wear. dressing up as her.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool. Oh my gosh. So I felt really her whole relationship with Renee, I felt it was very sad because it seemed like they were very happy for a long period of time, but he wasn't a good person. It didn't seem like.
I did catch, and I didn't catch it the first time I watched the series, probably because I was just like, she does mention that things started to change when she went on that trip to Hawaii with her two dancers and
Yes.
him. She said at that point I'm realizing that he has an issue with pain medication.
Yes.
So I think it was good in the beginning, and yes, that is some of her strongest work from a publicity, image perspective, music perspective. Like it just all just kept fitting together beautifully.
Yeah.
But I think he hit a wall where maybe he had an addiction that was affecting the relationship. And I think that's when it really started to fall apart. And you could see the dancers, one Tina Landon, who was a choreographer, mentioning it. Janet doesn't necessarily, but Tina does. Yeah.
Was she okay? So I think I missed a part and I meant to go back to rewatch it but she was talking about her body issues. Was she saying that Renee?
So then Renee started saying to her how she always has to look the way she looks in the videos when she's out in public, and basically getting on her about her image at some point. So I think that's where I think that's where things really started to change, where it started to feel like maybe an abusive relationship to her, or it was feeling reminiscent of her marriage. And then she did say, it brought up issues because her brothers used to tease her.
No, and Michael called her pig. I was like,
I wrote it down: pig, horse, slaughterhouse,
cow.
I'm like, cow.
Yep.
Michael.
And her nickname, which is interesting, which I heard Renee calling her, Dunk, is short for donkey, because that's what her siblings used to nickname her. So I thought it was interesting that someone who didn't grow up with her was using that nickname. And if he knew where the nickname came from,
why would you say that to somebody you love?
Why would you? Exactly.
When she probably did tell you it wasn't something that made her feel good.
No.
I mean, I think as you grow older, you get acclimated to maybe your family or siblings saying that to you, and maybe it doesn't hurt as much. I don't know, but for someone who didn't grow up with her, calling her that,
that's not okay. That's not okay. That's never okay.
Yeah.
No.
And like she said about like Michael calling her those things, she said it wasn't out of a place of malice. It was brothers teasing sisters, sisters teasing brothers. And I had that growing up. We were super close in age. We used to tease each other, and I never, ever, ever would look back at it and think that it was anything that came out of hate or anything. It was just kids being kids.
Right.
But as a grown ass adult,
right,
to be saying something that is hurtful is disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first time that I got to see Janet live, I really spent my piggyback money on that. I think for the first few songs, I was just like, because I always thought she was a regular sized woman person. Like, she is tiny, like a little tiny. So I'm like, okay, the camera must add a lot of stuff onto people, because there's no way this is the same woman.
Right.
Like,
wow. Yeah.
So I'm like, he said what to her?
Right.
Yeah. I don't get it, but she's gorgeous to me. no matter what size
Yes.
she is.
Oh,
I know, no
100%.
kidding. I mean, she pregnant, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean,
she has a great team too, styling her, everything.
Yeah.
Like always.
but I think even with nothing, she would still be incredible.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
just again, she's beautiful. Like,
Yes. Yes.
I was really sad. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
I was just going back to like her and Michael's relationship. I was really sad the part that she was talking about. Like just one day it was like he stopped talking to her, and like she could remember the last time he had come in and like talked to her, and then it was and then like going through what he was going through, and she just wanted to be there for him.
Right.
But his team was like not doing a very good job of making it. And I just never knew that happened. Like with Scream and everything, I didn't know. It was neat to hear the behind the scenes on that.
It was, and I was like, oh, look at Michael's apartment. I might be neater than him. I'm impressed. It was a mess.
It was a mess. Yeah.
So I think being that I just rewatched it, she definitely says there's a time where the brothers drove up she only had been to Neverland once, which I was like, am I hearing correctly? And they wanted to do like a reunion tour. And Michael's people were like, absolutely no. Michael said no. And she said that's when she felt it was different. And then soon after was the whole trial thing. And then the last time, and then they did Scream. And even with that, she was saying how, which I never knew, they didn't really shoot the video together.
Right.
She was saying he shot nights and she shot daytime. And it was like they were trying to create some kind of competition. I'm like, how insane is that? Like looking at the video, I would think they must have had a fun time shooting this video. And now you come to learn that there's very few times where they were together.
Right.
That's exactly, I was shocked because I remember watching that video and thinking when it came out, when it was new, I remember the premiere of that video. It was a huge deal.
Huge deal.
And it was phenomenal. And I remember thinking like, it looked like they had a great time.
But also the budget was
such
like
a nice reunion.
Way out of budget, she said. Like
it was insane, but it's also one of the most insane videos you've ever seen today,
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible watching it back then, and it's still equally as incredible watching it now because it's way beyond its time.
And I feel like there was even like a making of special, and not once did I get the sense that they were not doing this whole thing together.
No.
So that was definitely, I mean, you could see how people can spin things, but that was definitely a revelation. And then I guess a few years down the line, she said she threw a party for her parents, and that was probably the last time she saw him or spent time with him.
Right. And he was laughing, and that's a good. I'm glad she had that memory with him. It's just for them being so close for so long, and then just him.
They're definitely a tight family,
right?
And love each other. It's very sad.
And what was sad too was that she had that deal with Coke because Michael was Pepsi and she was Coke. And because of the negative publicity of him, they dropped her. They didn't want to have anything to do with that. And it's like, poor Janet. Like, it's like she can't win. You know what I mean? But she doesn't let it get her down. But they just take things away from her for things that are out of her control. Right.
Down to her doing her press tour. And then people always asking questions about her brother. I totally get it. That one fan saying, is Michael baptized or something?
What?
There's a fan who runs up to her car. And she's like, Janet, is Michael baptized? Like, what?
Excuse me? Excuse you.
I mean, you have to wonder what other crazy questions she's gotten.
Right.
There's got to be, because that's crazy. Like, There's got to be even
Right.
more crazy.
And she's just trying to make it, and she had a great album that sold really well. It did well in the US, but not so much in Europe because I think everybody was so focused on her brother, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was something else that she lost out on the Coca-Cola deal. And she basically said, you're guilty by association. And I'm glad that she made a statement saying how she felt. To her brother would never do those things. It's not of his character. And that's it. Because I feel like you never really get like a clear statement from the family sometimes. And not that they have to. So, and then obviously, his passing. That I do remember whatever they showed on TV, the memorial service, and that was just sad. Across the board. Loss of talent and just sad for the family, particularly his kids at the time. But
particularly his
here we
kids.
Go talking about Michael.
Yeah.
About Michael.
Right.
That's not what you want.
Yes, but I mean, and she had already gone through so much because of the Super Bowl, and I mean that since that happened, I've always been pissed in that whole situation because had that have been someone else, I don't think it wouldn't have gotten as much heat.
I think so too. I think also her not particularly, the things she likes to do played into that, and they shamed her for it, right? She went and got this done right before the thing, so that must mean that she planned on showing her. She's always been so private and so conservative her whole career. Why would, besides, and that's really Renee's idea, right? Being bold with the picture. Besides, acting a part in a video, she's never been someone to be flashing her body like that.
No.
I'm glad
I didn't even think it was a big deal.
It was a nipple. For God's sakes, it was a nipple.
I didn't even know it happened. I was honestly clapping. Like, that was great.
I don't think I did either, to be honest with you. I was just like, what? Did that just did something just happen right then? It was so fast. It was so fast.
Well, they said like 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. There wasn't even enough time to like respond to it. Like,
and you couldn't even see it. Like I remember watching it. I remember sitting in my living room. I remember watching it. And it was like, I, at the time thought, and I still think, that's not a big deal. Like, this isn't a huge deal. Why is this such a huge deal? Why are they like saying that the children of America are like going to be so affected by this? They don't give a shit.
Like,
they don't know what happened.
Of America breastfeed. Come on now.
Yes.
Like,
right. They're familiar with what that is, but who cares? Anyway.
It's just people who want to get on a soapbox. And I feel sad for her because, I think the album after that didn't do, I think they said that's the first time an album never went straight to #1 for her. And then it kind of kept going downhill from there. I know she released a special message during the documentary she made, and then they installed it into the documentary right at the time because about her telling the fans to stop coming for Justin. My Janet Jackson Facebook pages were like, we don't care what she said. We're still coming for Justin. They were mad.
She was just like, listen, and I was wondering why it was inserted, but I think it was because probably that whole New York Times thing probably came out.
Did it come out around the same time?
I feel like it did.
I feel like Justin released a statement apologizing earlier in the month or something. To women, to Britney, like, and
as he should.
I think it started refueling stuff, and then also every time, I love my Janet Jackson fans, so they're savage. The Super Bowl's about to come on. They launch a Janet Jackson Appreciation Day, where they remind people of how fabulous she is, but they also still come for Justin. So I'm trying because I love Justin too, but
I do too. Savage. But it was interesting to me it gave me a little more respect for Justin when she said that he came right to her and said, I want to release a statement. Like,
right.
and
What
she was
should I
like,
do?
no, don't. And just that to me, I was like, Janet, you are just such an incredible person. Because she was like, no, I don't want to drag you down with it. Even though, come on, there shouldn't be anybody to drag anyone anywhere. But
Right.
she just didn't want
nobody should be dragged.
And I also think she had no clue of how crazy it would get. Like it just blew out of proportion.
I mean, for her to get disinvited.
Yeah. To the Grammy show. That was like,
I never knew that. I never knew that.
That was gross. I didn't know that either. And that
makes me not want to have that. Not that I watch the Grammys anyway, but it's because Justin was there. Like
he had 5 nominations and he performed.
Yeah. So just another example of the double standard. And I think that's why when Maroon 5 performed, people were flipping out. They're like, Adam Levine took off his shirt. Are you going to censor him? Like,
right. He has nipples.
Right. The Janet fans came for Adam Levine that night. Every time around the Super Bowl, they come. I love it.
I love it. As they should.
But the album that didn't go to number 1 is Demita Joe. It's called Demita Joe, which is her middle name. And it was the album she did where Jermaine Dupri was the main producer. She switched it up. And I think fans so love Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis so much that they maybe had a hard time acclimating to this new sound. It's one of my favorite albums. And I don't know if it's because it was where I was in life. You know, I was just kind of living off on my own, my own car, apartment. But it has some great songs there. And I feel like the video she did with Jermaine Dupri, like there's something about that song that just exudes love to me. Like I'm so in love. This is just the best moment of my life type thing. And that's what made me say, oh, she's serious about it. And it's sad because I do think Demita Joe is one of her. She has Crazy Kanye on there too, and Jay-Z. There's a lot of collabs that I thought were really great songs. Maybe they'll have a kind of like a Vindication Day for Demita Joe or something.
Hopefully. Well, I'm gonna go listen to it because I'm gonna be honest. Don't hate on me, but I've never listened to it. I've never heard it. So
I haven't either.
It just didn't get the play and advertising that probably normally would because of all the Super Bowl BS. Yeah. So speaking of albums, so the first 2 albums that most people don't know about, we have Control, we have Rhythm Nation. I think after that was a Janet album. Then after that was the Velvet Rope album, which I'd like to say my hair is imitating the cover.
Love it.
Then in Velvet Rope, she did like a collaboration with Q-Tip.
Yeah.
Who played her boyfriend who got shot in Poetic Justice. And then I feel like she has like 11 albums.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's some like albums that she remixed. I'm trying to look at them from here, but they're too far away. I've been collecting all her LPs.
Oh, fun.
So I just need one more, and it's like anywhere from $200 to $400 on eBay. It's a rare find. Yeah, it's another album that didn't do too well.
Okay, so what is it? Because who knows? Somebody might have it, and they might be like not attached to it.
Yeah, but I'm not paying $400, $200.
No, I'm just saying let's put it into the universe. Somebody might just give it to you. You never know. You just never know.
Okay. It's called 20YO.
Okay.
20YO.
I have not heard of that album either.
Right. It didn't do too well either, but it had some bangers on it. It did. But what I was getting at is, okay, she didn't tour with Control. She did her first major tour, Rhythm Nation, and the next album after that was a Janet tour, and that's when I first got to see her. And she had this bit on stage, and they showed a little bit in the documentary of how she would bring up a male fan,
Yes.
and basically do like a lap dance scenario. I went to when they recorded the Janet, I think maybe it was the Velvet Rope tour that I went to. It was a Velvet Rope tour. They recorded it for HBO. And that scene, I went 2 nights in a row. And that scene on stage with that male fan was hilarious. They were losing their mind. And I mean, Janet was literally like swirling around their body, touching them all over. They couldn't do anything, but they were losing their mind. And I'm not going to be honest, I was jumping up and down like, pick me, like just like the guys. I don't care. Take me on stage, Janet, and do that too. But I love the clip of them showing Shaq being picked as one of the guys. Did you see
I didn't see that.
I mean, you can't miss it because she's
oh my God, how did I miss that?
He's up to his hip.
Oh my
God. Like, he is obviously a huge man
compared to her.
And she is a tiny woman. And you can just, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I want to see the whole, I need to go and find it because I'm not sure how she navigated the choreography of what she typically did with him.
So funny.
They probably didn't even have a chair big enough for him to sit in, you know?
Right.
For real.
But when she does that, that's actually one of my favorite parts of the concert because it's fan interaction. It's a group, you know, everybody's in on it and just excited for the fan. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed with her skills.
Yeah. She's good. She's good.
Yeah, she's good. God. And it's just a very fun part of the show. And, you know, another thing about her shows is the dancing and just the whole scene change. It's just magical, honestly. The way things open up and shift, and she just goes and goes and goes and goes. She's not she's not a Christina Aguilera type singer. She's very breathy and so on, but she sings through it. And that's another Joe Jackson training trait is you're going to be able to dance and you're going to be able to dance vigorously and sing through stuff. And that's something that I think she does well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can find all her tours on YouTube. Fans just figure it out and put it together. So
I love it.
I love that.
Yeah. But fun fact for the Velvet Rope taping, we realized that we were being taped that night for the HBO special. And I think we were like maybe in the 10th row. We were pretty close.
Oh.
And the band does an intermission, so everybody sat down because obviously we're standing up throughout the whole show dancing. I said to my girlfriend, no, stay up. Keep standing up and let's dance with the musicians because I bet you they'll put the camera on us. We're so short that you can't see us through the crowd. And lo and behold, bam, a flash to little young Jackie and her friend Gilda. I have to send you the clip of the video. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to see it.
I'm in a Janet Jackson video, like kind of
sort of. That's amazing.
Oh, I love that so much.
So I have to send that to you guys. I was watching it the other day and I sent it to my friend and I was like, look at us. We look like little babies.
Oh my God.
It's a quick flash, but you see us. It's definitely us. So
I love it. Oh my God. That was like definitely good, quick thinking right there. Like, no, stand up.
Yeah. I'm like, stand up. We're so short. You can't see us through the crowd, but this is the one time where maybe they might put the camera on us.
And they did.
So, yeah. And they did.
That's awesome. You were on HBO.
I was on HBO. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I need to put up an IMDb profile.
I was going to say,
for real.
Yes. You and Kevin in his speaking part on
Oh,
Wahlburgers.
that's right. There you go. Oh my gosh.
So the biggest thing, the take from me is I did not realize that she had not been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame until 2019, which
Yeah.
I'm thankful that she finally did, but it was a long time coming. Like it should have been way
It
before.
took special efforts, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
but that's the whole thing, like kind of with the award shows, is if people are not on the committee, if the committee is not diverse, you're not gonna
Mhm.
get diverse candidates per se.
Mhm.
But I was kind of shocked because I think in the documentary they talk about how she was the only person who at the time had broken her own brother's record for Thriller.
Right.
So I'm like, that's pretty significant.
Yes.
That's
Thriller,
huge.
I mean, was like, it has all kinds of records probably still to this day. So that alone probably should have put her in the running for something.
Right.
And then all the success after. So I'm sad. I was actually on the West Coast when that happened, because that happened here in New York. The
Oh,
induction
I didn't
ceremony.
know that.
So my friend was like, I have a ticket. I'm like, I think I might have been seeing New Kids. So I was on the West Coast, but she got me one of the little like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame booklets that they had there.
That's cool.
So
I love that Janelle Monáe, right? That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Yes. I love that she was like, put that on my Wikipedia or put that on my that I inducted Janet Jackson into the hall. I loved that. I loved that.
Yeah.
And I love that Janet was like, yeah, more women need to be inducted. Like 100%.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. She definitely has, I think, earned it. And even like, I mean, I know the Hollywood Walk of Fame has a thing about fundraising and so on, but she had gotten that so early in her career and was doing so well and escalating up from there. So again, for her not to even be considered. So shout out to Questlove, who did initiate a campaign. And the Janet fandom, I know I in particular, I kept signing and posting and so on, petitions for her for several years. So I'm happy it finally happened. Yeah.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Yes.
Yeah.
So does she have any shows coming up now? Is she?
Yes. So we are eagerly await. Well, okay. In 2020, she was supposed to be touring and releasing a new album, and then the world stopped, right? So slowly, some of the festivals that she had booked are being rescheduled. So she has a show in Cincinnati Music Festival happening. The Essence Music Festival, she's doing that this year, which is usually the 4th of July. And they just announced another show at the Kentucky Derby, the first time ever that they're having a concert. And it's Janet Jackson and New Edition together.
Are you serious?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. And I wasn't supposed to, but I went and got tickets.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm like, YOLO.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Sadly, because the Kentucky Derby is planned well in advance, I will not be able to partake in that unless I happen to find $10,000 somewhere.
Right.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And then the tickets that they do have are like no view, no nothing. So I'm like, so what am I just standing behind billiards? Like, what's happening?
Wearing a cute hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not doing that. But I am going to see New Edition and Janet Jackson at the Kentucky Derby.
I love
it. Hell yeah.
So,
I'm so glad.
And then we're waiting for her to reannounce the Black Diamond tour that was supposed to happen. I really was like praying they would just say, hold on to your tickets. But they immediately just refunded everybody, unfortunately. So I'm excited about that new music. And she's working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis again. For
Yay!
Sweet.
Yay.
Yeah. And at the end of the documentary, they do play a clip of a new song.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I Love to Love You, I think it's called. So right as they're playing the credits, all of a sudden they start playing this song, and we realize it's a new song from Janet
I love
Jackson.
it.
That's exciting.
Sneaky,
That's
sneaky.
a nice little teaser. Yeah, yeah. Baby,
I cannot believe,
at
like,
50.
I know. It's amazing. That's incredible.
Go, girl. Go you.
For real.
I looked at
It's
Bryn
not
and I
me.
said, see, I'm going to have another one. And Bryn's like, because she's like, I'm not having kids. Bryn has been very vocal about that for a very long time, that she just doesn't want to have kids. That's fine. So I said, okay, then I'm going to have another one. She's like, no, you aren't. I'm like, I absolutely am. I'm having another one. And so she happened to be watching it with me. And I'm like, see, she was 50. I still have plenty of time.
Yep. You better watch out. You might be joking, and then it would not be a joke anymore.
I'm throwing it into the universe.
Yes.
I definitely
Can
want
you imagine?
I know I for sure want to have another baby. Like, I am dead serious.
I've always been of the mind that I'm not particular to having children, but if I'm with someone who I'm in love with deeply, that I feel would be a good parent, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
But it just occurred to me that eventually my sister's gonna have a baby, and I'm like, oh man, it would be so cool for our kids to be like little friends together. And then I started smacking myself and being like, stop it. Your sister's way younger than you.
Well, Kevin just shakes his head at me because we were in the baby aisle the other day. I don't even know why, but I was like, look at all the new stuff. Like, I was like, look, it's time. Let's have another one. And he's just like,
I wish you would.
I'm telling you right now, I'm throwing it into the universe. I want to have one more. Actually, two more, because I want them to have, like,
A play
not
buddy.
Like a pair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Built-in friends.
Yes.
So in love. And she's like, if my only role left to play is a mom, I'm okay with that. Which is, we're happy for her. But then, the fans got like, we'll never see her on tour again. And this might be her last tour for a while, I think, if she in fact does it, or maybe she'll just do music festivals.
Yeah.
But I was also like, when she said she was coming back after having the baby, I feel like she came back to close out the dates, like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months after having the baby. And I was like, I'm like, I'm okay. You could rest. Like, I'll keep waiting.
Yeah.
Right.
But she came out and she did it. I mean, she wasn't dancing like a maniac, but she was still doing moves and she looked fabulous.
Yeah.
So go Janet. Go
That's
Janet.
incredible. And her mom
I know.
talking about, her grandson, and just so sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet.
And how her dad actually got to meet his grandson, which was
Right.
Special.
Yeah. And just her whole thing with her telling her dad, like, how much that, like, really got to me. Like,
Right.
she was able
Yeah.
to have that conversation with him. And
Right. And as with him not being sick, she said, like, we just sat down, we had a real conversation about what it was like for him raising all those kids in the time that they were being raised. And I think that just adds to her respect for him.
Yeah.
When it could have gone so many other ways.
Yeah.
Again, it is coming from Janet. So it does paint a lighter picture than what the documentary did. And I honestly don't know where the information for that 2300 Jackson Street miniseries came from.
Yeah.
Completely. You know what? I need to research and see what they said about it when it came out. Too. Because a lot of the stories that she mentioned are reflected in the movie. So somebody had to give a little inside information about breaking the string and,
wasn't it LaToya
spilling all the beans?
Yeah.
I don't know, LaToya.
I just want to say, like, I feel like she went on like a press circuit or whatever they call that. You know what I mean? Like, during that time.
She definitely was married to a character for some time. And she wrote a book. I remember buying it, but I don't remember quite reading it. Because I think I started to and I was like, this feels too salacious. Like, what's going on here? It might, maybe LaToya. Maybe. Yeah. I have to go back and see.
Yeah. Now I'm interested.
Yeah. And bless Reby.
Yes.
You don't hear much from her, but I was like, okay, she's the oldest, but she's also just very light.
I love her.
Right? Just kind of like she's probably the realest of them all.
Yeah.
She seemed it.
Yeah. Yeah. She was just like, oh yeah, Janet don't like to talk about her life. No, she's really private. What did hurt me was when she was talking about, Michael's death and how it's just so public and going into a grocery store and just constantly seeing stuff about your family kind of splashed and, across magazines and painting in the worst light possible. Like that's tough. That is tough.
That was hard. It was sad to watch because I mean, obviously, of course that's hard, but you forget.
Yeah.
You don't think about that, but that's really sad.
Yeah. And Janet has had some crazy rumors too, besides the baby, to the point where people were arguing with me. And I was just like, really, really think she did that? They were like, oh, for the picture with the hands over her boobs, she had a rib removed. I'm like, where's the scar?
I remember hearing that.
Where's the scar? Well, she's rich, I'm like, where's the scar?
Right. Money doesn't buy you not a scar.
And what physician says, oh, you want to remove a rib bone so you can look thinner? Cool.
That sounds like a good idea.
It makes you wonder like where this stuff comes from sometimes. And not to say that I absolutely know, but I'm not going to believe that.
No.
100% no. But I remember hearing that back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she had a rib. I'm like, who told you that? Where'd you get that from? What? The sun?
Right.
Sun Times?
Right.
The Sun Times was always giving you pictures of aliens. Come
on. I
on.
was going to say.
National Enquirer.
Alien babies.
Just stop it. Did we already talk about Stevie Wonder?
No, because we did at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Before we were recording.
Okay, I was looking at my notes. Yeah, Stevie Wonder, who presented her, I think, her Icon Award. And then you see him singing at her birthday party that Jermaine Dupri gave her. And it says Janet Jackson's cousin.
Right. And I'm like, what?
Right. She doesn't say it.
No.
But it says it. And I'm like, huh? What? So it's what? Her third cousin on her mother's side. That's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So then my mind starts swirling to say, okay, Stevie Wonder was signed with Motown. Did Stevie Wonder know that they were family and help put them on so they could get an audition? Like all these little background thoughts start happening. And then once they got there, did they realize it? And then it was, I don't know.
That's what I started thinking when, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I wonder if he had something to do with the start of it. Because like Berry Gordy, he was involved with Berry Gordy. So. Right.
I mean, they were already making a name for themselves too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But Gary, Indiana is really far from Motown. Like, scouting was different back then. So how did that connection happen?
Right.
And I was trying to think about what my favorite Janet Jackson song is, and I don't think I have one. Like, it just depends on my mood. I have mood songs, Like always when I'm about to go on vacation, Escapade comes into play.
Yep.
Which I always thought was Ice-Capade.
Ice Capade.
Did you really?
I always sang Ice Capade.
I wonder if someone at the Ice Capades actually used the Escapade song
That would be
to
cool.
dance to.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I had a dance routine
Okay.
to Escapade.
Okay.
It was at like my dance like class did it. And it was
Mhm.
very like
Oh.
the
at the
fan
Y.
arms on your heels.
We had like
Yeah.
Tool like
Mhm.
we like this. We did like a
Okay,
little, it was like
awesome.
modern kind of dance. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be, I thought it was gonna be like hip hop.
Mhm.
It definitely was not. It was definitely like modern interpretive, like and I was like, what is this? This is not what I signed up for. But
Yeah.
at least we got Janet Jackson to listen to. So
exactly. I can't tell you how many times I'm very happy to be alive today for the amount of times that I tried that chair trick from Pleasure Principle.
Oh my gosh.
What was I thinking? I
I
got it eventually, but there were a lot of close calls.
Oh my god.
I'd be afraid of falling and losing my teeth.
I'm surprised I did not. Yeah.
Like that. But I remember how cool I thought that was when I was,
Yeah.
6.
Right.
And wanting to do that. I still wish I could do that, but I can't. I don't want to lose my teeth. I'm just afraid I'd fall and like hit
Yeah.
'em.
Yeah. I mean, we had a carpeted apartment at the time, but even with that, yeah.
You get like rug burn all over your face. That would
Like, yeah, kids are really brave. I'm just gonna tell you that. I was
Yep.
way braver.
I would like to see that though.
Yes, I would.
If there was video of that, that'd be amazing.
Oh, no,
all I'm gonna
absolutely
say.
not. Not back then, unless I had the VHS recorder just stationed someplace going, right?
I used to do it because my dad won one in like a poker game, and so we had a
Oh no,
big
we
camera.
totally had one, but we had a huge one. I
Yeah,
don't know if
ours
you
was
did
like
too.
it was like enormous.
And I was like you, Nikki. I'd be that girl bringing the big ass recorder
Yep.
to things, and just like there was no handheld one.
No, it was
No.
like you needed a nice shoulder to like.
Yeah. And even when the handheld ones came out, I was still rocking my big old one. I was like, this is what we got. And it works just fine.
I definitely got a handheld one. We were just watching videos of it.
Okay.
And they were embarrassing.
We don't need conversion tapes. We could just pop my tape right in the VCR.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
That's
exactly.
True.
That was a big difference. That was a big deal.
Yeah. Definitely have a lot of Janet Jackson costumes I've done through the years.
Can you send pictures? Can we put them on the website?
Yes. I was going to say, I wish I was smart enough to take pictures when I was younger, because I know I was so proud of myself putting together an Escapade outfit, but people took pictures of me. I didn't take pictures of myself. So I was just thinking, I'm like, I got to reach out to some of my high school friends and see if they have like pictures. Cause I was really excited about that one outfit. Junior year, I'll never forget it.
I love that.
But yeah, I have some other pictures through the years as I've gotten older and took pictures. And in college, I was in a dance troupe, and it was right when Janet's album came out. So we did a remake of If, and we were able to recruit guys and teach them that I definitely have on VHS, and I need to figure out how to convert it.
See it.
But we got guys from a frat house, like all random guys. They were willing. We taught them how to do the guy part. We did the Janet part, and literally did the choreography from the If video, literally with their heads and like everything.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see that.
Jackie with not a half shirt, I would say a belly shirt on. And then we also did That's the Way Love Goes choreography. So that was just like a fun time to be able to pretend we're all Janet and do dances, particularly with guy partners. And that video was so popular at the time. So if I could figure out how to pull it, I will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Janet. More to come. I get to see her with two of them together, New Edition and Janet. I'm excited. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When is that? What's the date of that?
that's coming. It's fast. It's going to be May
It's
7th.
like April.
Oh,
I was going to
wow.
say it's either end of April or early May. That's
7th.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just said, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait till her tour. I'll wait till New Edition announces the residency. And I'm like, wait, when will they ever really be together, just the two of them? Like they're both doing Essence Music Festival, but it's going to be a whole bunch of other artists too. But it's just them alone on the stage performing.
That's awesome.
I got to
Love
be
it.
there. YOLO. So,
I'm so glad that you got that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yay, exciting.
yes,
I can't wait to hear about it and see pictures.
definitely will be doing that. Unfortunately, I have to document.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on, Jackie. We
Yeah,
always love
thank you,
having you
guys.
on.
Oh, I
And
love you
we
guys
love you.
too.
And missed
And-
you.
I know. Someday soon.
I get to see you, hopefully, still in a few weeks.
Yes, you
Yes.
do. I have that on my calendar.
I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
You'll see the whole
I'm
fam.
jealous.
the whole fam.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. I have the day blocked off, so you're good to go.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
So the kids are too, because they're like, New York City. All right.
I know. Well, hopefully it calms down too. It's been a little crazy lately, but
Yeah.
it's not crazy enough where people can't visit.
Right.
Give it-
This is completely off topic, but it's kind of
Mhm.
sad. And I have to say it. While we were on, I just got a notification email that the Foo Fighters concert was canceled that we were
Yeah.
all supposed to go to. It's so sad.
I saw that.
So sad.
Oh, I didn't know that they had a tour coming
Yeah.
up.
They were actually coming to Bangor. It was like
Oh,
a
wow.
huge deal. So all of us got tickets, like Brooke and Pete and a bunch of our friends. And we were
Wow.
actually taking the kids because the kids love Foo Fighters. So we were taking them too, and they were really excited. And
And it was
How
in
was-
Bangor.
When
in
was that going to
Bangor.
be?
It was after
like
New
July.
Kids. It was like end of July. Yeah.
End of July, beginning of August, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I expected it.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I expected it, but I was really, really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I
really
completely
fun.
understand. I mean, yeah.
And in Bangor, like we get country music.
When
in Bangor.
I could not believe it. I was like, is this Portland or is this Bangor? And
Yeah.
sure enough, it was Bangor.
So does Bangor have like huge venues too? Like they do.
We have two pretty big venues. I mean, I would say that the Cross Center is as big as Mohegan, wouldn't you, Brooke?
Yeah.
So the Cross Center is probably as big as Mohegan, where New Kids play in Mohegan.
Okay.
And then we have an outdoor venue that's
Mhm.
really big. We've had like Dave Matthews Band and
Okay.
a lot of country artists, which no thanks.
Like,
I mean,
yeah, a lot of Luke Bryan, I think Keith Urban,
Yeah.
like other people. Those are the only country people I know. So
Yeah.
other
Okay.
country people,
but
lots
we
of them.
saw Poison.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kiss Me Once. What's her name?
Lita Ford.
Lita
Lita
Ford.
Ford. Thank you. And Def Leppard
Okay.
there.
Yep. We've seen them there. Pete and I don't know if you
Big
went,
Time
Nikki.
Rush.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Pete and
like
I saw
a
Journey
teenage-
there.
Yeah, it's a teenage boy band, and
Yeah.
they just got back together, and I got Bren meet and greets to go see them.
Ooh.
She is psyched. So,
Okay.
what were you saying,
And-
Brooke?
I said I saw Journey there.
I didn't
I don't
see
know if-
Journey. No,
So that was really good.
I think we were
um,
gone.
Yeah, it was a really, really good show. And Pat Benatar, I think it was Pat Benatar, Journey, and there was one other act I cannot remember right now.
I'm really sad
um,
I didn't see Brian Adams. Brian Adams came. Rod Stewart,
Okay.
Cyndi Lauper.
That
Oh,
was a really
wow.
good one.
I didn't get to
Yeah.
see that either.
So
was
you
a good
guys, you
one.
guys get more like rock bands or like retro artists, it seems.
Yeah.
So we
Do you get rap artists?
Yes.
So we have.
Yes, a lot. Yeah.
But I'm not.
They're like new. It's like the new. I've never heard of them. One guy like was supposed to be here, and like people were at the concert, and he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't get out of the airport." I don't know. He's like some famous.
I don't remember who that was.
A little something. Everybody's little John, little Wayne, little rapper,
little sluggy,
little
I don't know,
little cozy, little
something like that. Yeah,
flashlight, like.
But we get some pretty decent people.
But a lot of country,
and it's like, come on,
and metal. We get like metal, like festivals.
We had Motley Crue. Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to come here.
Oh, okay.
That was like a big one. Didn't Motley Crue go to that metal festival? We have this like metal festival that like people from all over the country, world come to.
Mm-hmm. It's
some kind of like, because my friend Kendra that works in Nashville was telling me her sister was so excited because she bought tickets for a show for Bangor, Maine at this metal festival. It was like a huge thing. And I think that's the one that Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to be at. And that was 2019 and he canceled.
Oh,
yeah, it was before COVID, but
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So you'll have to come up here for a concert, maybe.
I mean, the metal festival sounds fun. I feel like there's probably a lot of groups I would know, but if it's like really, really heavy metal, I may be a little. It's really, really.
It's not like
if it's along the lines of Ozzy Osbourne, that's not my thing. If it's more like glam rock, like Poison, Motley Crue,
it's like Slipknot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
And like Five Finger Death Punch.
Marilyn Manson was there too, right?
He came
that's a couple years ago.
That's a big no.
Yeah,
that's a no for me, dog.
Did why do I keep wanting to say Tommy Lee? Because Tommy Lee is on the brain.
Oh my god, I have to watch that.
I know I have to watch it.
Tom and Pam.
Yeah.
Pam and Tommy.
There was a scene in that TikTok told me to watch, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Wait, what scene was it? Oh, wait, I know the scene. Yeah, I know the scene. I've seen it. I watched it, and I had to watch it when Sadie was sleeping, so it was hard for me to get through it all because, like,
was it good?
It was really good. It was good. It kind of made me mad, just because I know that, like I like Pam, and I know she didn't like it.
Right.
Like she wasn't happy about this. I don't care what Tommy Lee thinks.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay.
But it kind of hurts. Like it hurts knowing that she didn't want this out there, but I still watched it.
Okay.
It was fascinating. Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw clips of the video that got stolen.
I definitely did. I remember watching it.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, oh my.
Honk honk.
Oh, hey
yeah.
Fella.
I definitely watched it on Bethany's couch senior year of high school. And just that one time, never saw it again. But there was that one part with the honk honk that they I don't want to say they showcased in the show, but they talked about, and I was like, yes, that's like the one thing I remember. And it was so hilarious. So anyway, it's really good. It's good. And it's super interesting. I had no idea the story of the whole thing. No idea. It was really
they had a volatile relationship from what I'm understanding. Yeah or no?
Oh yeah. Well, he was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you see the Motley Crue?
Dirt. Yeah, sure did.
The Dirt. That was amazing.
The Dirt. Yeah, that was really good.
Machine Gun Kelly did a great job playing him.
Yes,
he did. He did a better job playing him than the guy that plays him in this.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay,
yeah. That kind of bothered me too. I didn't really like the guy. Nothing against the guy. There was just there was just some kind of disconnect, and I couldn't really put my finger on it.
The person playing Pamela Anderson though is like eerily
Is he-
similar.
Is he British or Australian or something?
I think he's something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't think he was American.
I don't think he was. And he's in something else that I can't remember. But I didn't realize that it was the same guy. He's almost like too pretty to play Tommy Lee. I think that
Right.
might be it. Like Tommy Lee is not a pretty man.
I mean, when he's clean, I think he's one of the better looking members of
I think he's
Agreed.
Motley Crue.
I think he's
No, agreed. But he's not like
But he's
You see
scraggly.
him.
He's like bones, skin and bones.
this guy wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
He was too in shape. Like he was too like
got it. He didn't meet the body type to imitate.
no, but the girl that what's her name that plays Pam.
Anderson.
First of all, she looked very much like her. She did a great job.
yeah.
But I think that she had like this area because there's a lot of showing of that stuff
Mhm.
was like a shirt, like prosthetic.
Oh,
Oh.
It wasn't real, but it looked real, but I knew it couldn't have been real because it
got
was
it.
like this girl in real life she would have had to have like major
Okay.
surgery.
So the guy who plays Tommy Lee, I knew he looked familiar because I just watched
Yeah.
something. Tony and Tina's Wedding, which Joey McIntyre's in,
Yeah.
with why can't I think Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So he was in that movie.
Oh,
Mm.
And he was also in Hot Tub Time Machine. He was on Gossip Girl.
the original Gossip Girl, or the remake.
The original Gossip Girl.
Sebastian Stan. That's
Sebastian
his
Stan,
name.
yeah. So
Oh wait, is he the guy from Marvel?
Yes,
He's the
he
guy
is.
from Marvel.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, that's probably why I wanted to watch it. I'm like that hot
He's
man.
he's hot
Woo!
though. He's hot.
And he
Yeah.
is from Romania.
Oh wow.
I remember seeing an interview and being like, "Oh, he's not like a American." But now that you say the name, I'm like, "Oh, that's that guy from Marvel, the Winter Soldier." Woo!
Mhm.
Yeah.
Time to watch Pam
Yeah.
and Tommy.
Woo.
We should do an
Woo,
episode
yeah.
on Pam and Tommy.
it was good.
We should do an episode.
It was good. He was in I, Tanya. I think that might be where I remembered him from.
Oh, did he
Ooh, was
play the husband?
The-
He played Jeff.
I
yes.
think so.
That's how
Yes.
I know him. Yeah.
Yes.
what was the husband's name? Jeff.
Jeff
Jeff Galoo.
Jeff
Jeff
Galooly.
Galooly.
Galut, something like that. I
I
mean,
think it was Jeff Galooly.
the things that we remember that have nothing to do with like
Anything.
Yeah.
right,
Right.
like if,
Right.
if Tanya Harding attacking Nancy Kerrigan going to be in a history book? I don't think so. And if so, what part of the history book will it be in? Like, what would they put in that section?
It's Jeff Galooly.
Popular trivia of the 80s? I don't know.
I think
It was
will
like
be
a
because
media
it's the
firestorm.
Olympics. Yeah, I think it's because it's surrounding the Olympics. Like it's going to
Yeah.
be.
And it was that era. Like there's an era of like media, like when things like that would just like took over the media.
Consume
was-
everything.
That like the Menendez brothers, that was all around the
Yeah.
same time.
Ooh, that movie.
Bobbitt, John Wayne Bobbitt,
Mhm.
Right.
um,
that
OJ
movie
Simpson, of
too.
course. Yeah.
Thank
like-
goodness for all these Lifetime movies, man.
Right.
No.
That OJ one was
Ugh.
good. The
Yeah, it
Versace
was.
one was good.
That
Anything
OJ
Ryan
one was
Murphy-
so good.
Anything Ryan Murphy touches is solid gold, I have to say.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
I want
But
to see
thank
the
goodness
Monica
for-
Lewinsky one. It's not Lifetime, but I want to see
I haven't seen that one.
I really want to see that.
I
haven't
wanna
seen
see that
one
too.
either. I heard that was good too. And the Tammy, I think the Tammy Faye Baker.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see
I just
that.
won an Oscar.
I want to see that.
Because that's Richie Cunningham's daughter. What's her name?
Yep.
Why? That's sad that I don't remember her name.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Chastain. Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain, yes.
Thank you. Woof. We're
She's
talking about
gorgeous.
women power and look at
Oh
us.
my God. Oh yeah, let's say goodbye. We'll wrap her up.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks for joining
Jackie.
us. And thank you, Jackie. And
Yes.
thank you,
you.
Kristine.
Yeah, thank you, Kristine. I'm sorry that it
For
didn't
trying.
work out, but we're
Sorry.
still gonna keep you in the promo, and
We totally are.
We'll be loving you forever. I haven't said that in a long time.
Oh, and ever.
Bye.
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 Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Brooke and Nikki, it's Jackie. I'm sitting here thinking about our podcast, and I can't believe that I forgot to tell the story of Janet giving us tickets, well, her team giving us tickets to basically the front row. Me and my good friend Gilda went to see her at Radio City. And we basically had like the second to the last row in the mezzanine. And as soon as this concert started, we got up and we started dancing. And the people behind us were like, you need to sit down, you need to sit down. And we were like, no, it's a Janet Jackson concert, no way. So then this big burly guy walks up to us and I'm like, oh my God, we're about to be kicked out. The concert just started. And it was like, oh, so you like Janet? And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, if we have to sit, that's fine. And he's like, well, she reserves tickets for some of her biggest fans. So here are some tickets to down front. Just go ahead. And I literally like jumped up and was so excited. And my friend, and I took the tickets and we started like running down to the floor level. And my friend Gilda was like, well, what if the tickets are fake? Like, how do you know? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. We have our old tickets. If they're not real, we come back to our seats. So we get down and we walk up and the usher leads us up to the next section, the next section, the next section. Next thing you know, we're in the freaking front row looking up at Janet. I honestly blanked out and don't remember the show. Bits and pieces, but that was one of the most amazing things that ever happened to me at a concert. And to this day, you know, Gilda and I will often reminisce about just the insanity of it all, how we thought we were going to get kicked out, and how she planned for people in the audience so that people who maybe couldn't afford nicer tickets do have an opportunity to get closer. So, yep, just wanted to share that. Janet's the best.
Hello, hello. This is your friendly Southern California friend, Charlene. And Brooke and Nikki, this is a request to the people who are listening. I want to hear the stories of anyone who went to 90s Con in Connecticut, because I've seen the pictures and it looked really awesome. So if you went to 90s Con this past weekend, please, pretty please with sugar on top, write an email to Brooke and Nikki. Tell your stories. Tell us who you met. Send the pictures. I want to see it all. That's my request. If you went, tell us about it. Okay, that's all. I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye.
End of messages.
Files done.